Hi, this is Mrs. Gerhart. Today I'm going to go over brainstorming for your graphic design name logo project. So, the first thing that you're going to do is either get a new piece of paper or you might even be working in your little booklet here. And we're going to start by having our name, our homeroom number, and our period number on that sheet of paper. Next, once you've gone ahead and done that, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to create a top 10 list. So we're starting to brainstorm, and I want you to think about you. What are the things that you like? What are the things that you enjoy? And you're going to start writing the numbers 1 through 10, kind of like if you were taking a spelling test. You're going to write those numbers onto your paper. And then you're going to think about things that you like, things that you enjoy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that same thing here for you. I'm writing down activities, hobbies, interests that I have. They can be things that you do at any time of year. Maybe they're done in a specific time of year. They could be done with a group of friends. They could be done by yourself. It might be some sports or activities that you're involved in. You get to decide. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to complete a top 10 list overall. Now, sometimes I find it helpful if you start sharing with a friend. A lot of people get stuck right around number 8, but then as we share with other people, you might be able to include and finish those last couple of items on your list. I need one more. What could I add to my list? I already have art on there. I already have some outdoors things on there. I'm going to put spending time with my family. Notice, I'm not writing full sentences, I'm just writing individual words that would go for my overall piece. Then, once I've done this, I'm going to pick 2 out of the list. It doesn't matter if I wrote them that my number 1 thing is my number 1 thing. I'm not worried about the order, I'm just worried about you getting those top 10 things written down. So now I'm going to start to look at that list, and I'm going to think about 2 things that I really like. So for today, I'm going to choose camping. And I'm going to write that kind of separate and off to the side. And I'm going to choose art for today as my second one. Once I have those 2 that I'm picking out off of my list, and I can even, kind of circle those so that I know where those are on my list, then I'm starting to think about these, and I'm trying to think, okay, what could I show, or what are some different parts of that? So for camping, we like to go camping. I like to go camping in tents. I like to make a campfire when I go camping. I like to be out in the woods. So that's something that represents camping for me. I think of it as a vacation. It's a chance to get away. And with that, I think of relaxing. So I might have some parts that fit underneath of some different categories, like maybe there's tent stakes. We have the different parts of a tent that I can add with that. With a campfire, I like to have s'mores. But I want you to have at least 5 different parts that go with your main activity or main part there. Then I can do the same thing for the second one. So art is my next one. So I might think about different types of art. Like I enjoy drawing. I like working with ceramics. I like to paint. And then I might even think further with those. I might use brushes for painting. I might use a pencil for drawing. Once I've brainstormed 2 of them, for each 2, I'm trying to have at least 5 little bubbles that go with them. Then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to look at all of those, and I want to start to come up with 3 pictures. So for example, maybe in my drawing category within art, maybe I'm going to draw a little pencil. Okay, so that's one of mine. Under camping, maybe under tents, I'm going to add a little picture that looks like a little tent that got put up. And maybe under campfire, maybe I'm going to make something that starts to look a little bit like a campfire. So this is where I'm starting to brainstorm. I'm starting to get ideas overall, and then I'm starting to work within those ideas. Next, I have 3 little images that represent either art or camping that I've started to draw on my paper. I am going to bring my paper a little bit closer so that you can start to see some of those little ideas starting to happen. And now I'm going to choose one of those directions. So for example, I might pick campfire to represent camping for me. So now I'm going to start to think, how can I show that campfire? And I'm going to start to flip over my paper, and I'm thinking campfire now, and I'm going to start to draw it once. So maybe I'm going to start to draw the flames in the middle of the campfire. I'm starting to draw the logs that are at the edges of the campfire that make up that campfire, and I'm going to start to draw that on there. Then I want to think, okay, how else can I draw a campfire? And I might think, how can I simplify it if it's really complex? Or how can I make it more complex if it's really simple? Like for example, when we were doing the heart, stars, or arrows activity, you might have added things to the ideas. Maybe you even added more than one of them. Maybe you added something to the outside, added something to the inside, changed how you were thinking about the overall idea. You're going to be doing the same thing here. This is a fairly complex picture already, so maybe I am simplifying that picture. And here is an example of me just taking that campfire idea and simplifying. Now, as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, that kind of looks a little bit like letters and backwards letters. I wonder if I could explore this idea a little bit more, make it look like a campfire, but also make it look like my initials or something along that line. But for right now, I'm going to leave that one go, and I'm going to start to think, okay, what else can I do with that idea? And when I look at a campfire, it kind of looks like it has a zigzag line edge to it. So maybe I'm playing with that zigzag line edge, and then let's see, what can I do with these logs? Maybe I'm going to just make it look like it's on the ground here. So do you see how I changed that up? I simplified it a little bit because I'm starting out with a complex picture. I want to have at least 3 ideas that are the exact same thing. So for example, if I'm representing baking by a cupcake, I'm going to draw at least 3 cupcakes that change how the cupcake looks. You can go even further than 3, but I'm looking for at least 3.